we'll be kicking off episode 2. We, as always, have our wonderful players here. If we want to get everyone to say hi.
Hello.
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 Would you like to introduce us, or should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce from left to right, starting with Finric.
I'm Cass. I play Fenric, a Furbolg Barbarian.
I am Looney Silvertune, the bard in this campaign.
And I am Till, played by, well, I guess I should say I'm Eric playing Till. I am a gnome artificer.
I'm Matt, playing Volcasa, trying to keep everyone alive as a cleric.
Air quote cleric.
Yeah, cleric.
All right. Well, we are back from our last session. Last time we played, we had our players exit the caravan that they've been traveling on for the past few months. They entered the Plane-Touched lands with the aid of 2 guides from the cult that lives from within there. They traveled through and ending up trapped in a section of the Infernal Plane, meeting with a rot demon, which they fought. One of their guides was incapacitated. They were able to save them and move on to a clearing in the Earth Plane where they ran into an odd group of elementals. These elementals seem to have gained their own sentience and turned to a life of banditry. With this being done, they paid the elementals as guides to bring them through the plains after a brief confrontation, and they have eventually made it to their campsite, a floating town on top of the water. They've chosen to rest here for the night as they were traveling for 38 hours unbeknownst to them in the odd plains. Right there is where we're going to be starting our session for the night, as everyone is bedding down, trying to get some rest before they traverse the rest of the elemental plains.
As things wind down, Till will be continuing to work on making a new screwdriver. Still slightly annoyed that I lost it, but you know, stuff happens.
All right, what else? What is everyone else in the party doing? I know Looney was playing music out on the banister, but what are Finn and Vol doing?
Looking at the weird rock. Or the crystal thing in the middle of the, church-like building.
Oh, I thought you were referring to Cliff.
Oh, no.
Was I still tending to wounds, or was Vol still tending to wounds?
No, you did the best you could in the pavilion next door. Unfortunately, they have laid her down for the night, as the only way we can proceed with the care is with a much stronger source of healing magic. Currently, Ketetra is caring for her sister in the building you guys are taking refuge in, getting her prepared to go to sleep. She is still unconscious, but she's laying her down for the night.
Okay. Then I think Vol would be walking the town, or walking the little floating refuge, just to see how everything is. Oh, things are not loaded properly. Hello?
Pardon, was my audio going through right then?
Nope.
It was not.
Sorry about that. So Looney, are you still going to be out playing on the banister at the moment?
Most likely, yeah. Like, I would have rested and probably done a few other things, but for the most part, that's what I would be doing.
All right. So after a while, you out playing on the banister. Everyone's laying down for bed behind you. You see the elementals. Lake and Song are still over on the far edge. It seems like they're having a close, heated discussion. Cliff is enjoying himself over on the playing with the boat, and Pitt is over on the market platform, just kind of rummaging through stuff, holding up various, pots and urns and such, trying to find other interesting baubles that he seems to be stuffing in his pockets.
Okay.
During this time, actually, Ketetra is going to come up behind you and ask you softly, do you have a moment to talk?
Awesome. You're coming up beside me. But yes, I have a moment to talk.
Before we laid down for the night, I was thinking, I know we've, come just to escort you guys through the plains, but with the injuries my sister has suffered, I'm not sure what we can do after this. And I wanted to know what were your guys' plans? When you get through the elemental plains, where are you going?
I believe we're heading for the city.
The city you guys are going to be heading to is across the mountain range to the north of the elemental plains. One second. It is in the country of Thul-Un. The capital is Altera. That is the city you guys are heading towards.
Yes, we're heading for Altera.
Oh, I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but with my sister's wounds, I don't know if we can find my tribe again with her in this condition. Traveling the plain-touched lands is dangerous as it is. Do you think it would be possible if we traveled with you to the city? Maybe find a healer that can heal her leg?
I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind. I don't believe the rest of the party. Well, some people in the party might not care for such things, but but I believe they could be persuaded. Besides, your skills in leading through the plains such lands have been useful so far. So,
Oh, thank you so much. Me and my sister have both been born and raised within these lands, so we don't know how to navigate the outside world and don't know how to deal with, these large cities that you all live in. So if you could help us get to the city, we would be most grateful.
oh, don't worry. I am well acquainted with many cities. It'll be no such problem.
Thank you so much. And seeming a bit relieved, she wanders back inside. Is anyone else gonna be doing anything before bedding down for the night?
No, I'm just gonna be hanging out in my bunk. So my role. So I'll just be pretty inactive, I think.
Do we plan on sleeping in this area with the crystals, or we're gonna be sleeping somewhere else?
I believe wherever. It seems like Ketetra and Caliestra are both going to be bedding down in here, as it is one of the only shelters of the area that is not of a tent-like nature. And Ketetra expressed earlier that she believes that the magics in here may aid in the healing.
Excellent. Vol's going to pull out his bedroll and do his nightly preparations, and he has a box that he keeps with him, kind of about 1 foot by 1 foot square box, wooden box, and he's gonna take it out and he's going to just kneel down and start muttering some prayers, and after that he's gonna go to sleep.
All right, Looney and Finrick.
Are we planning on setting up a watch or anything?
As far as I know, you guys hadn't discussed it, and the elementals all seem to be doing their own thing, but they have been paid for protection.
That's true.
Right? What are we paying them for?
What are we paying them for?
That's a good introspective question to be thinking about.
We'll get to that when it comes up. For now, the company is nice enough.
All right, so as you guys all bed down for the night, you guys get this odd twinge, whereas even though you guys have some heavy fatigue from traveling for so long, unbeknownst to you, as the sky out here does not change, the odd ambient light is a bit disconcerting as you guys fall to sleep. And after hours of fitful sleep, eventually you all wake.
Can't get any sleep.
You guys find that the elementals seem to be still going about their own business. They've just kind of been wandering around the area. It seems like Pitt has found a large sack, seeming to be mishmashed together of a couple finely woven rugs with quite a few items in it that he has slung over his shoulder. He seems rather proud of himself.
Good for him.
What'd you find?
He grins. It's like, well, nothing no one's going to miss, I don't think, judging by the layer of dust on it.
Now you gotta show me.
He beckons you on over and he opens up the sack, and you see quite a few finely crafted, brass decanters and stuff like that. It seems like they might be some form of artisan goods for cooking or alchemy. But there's also a couple odd things in there that he tossed in there, like iron, eating utensils, like forks and spoons that aren't worth really anything, to be honest. But he seems to think we're worth the haul.
Pitt, why?
Yeah?
Why are there forks and silverware in here?
He pulls them out. He's like, well, there's a few times where we got some goods, and he kind of raises an eyebrow with a smirk, and there were whole cases of these things. I think they're some kind of small weapon. They have whole cases of them, and those were a lot shinier than these ones are. But if they're spending a whole caravan moving those things, they got to be worth something.
That's true. I'm just concerned why you would have such dangerous weapons on you. I mean, it seems like, unless you're an expert with this exotic weapon, you really shouldn't be handling it.
There'll be a market for it somewhere. He's kind of looking over it, and I was like, we could use it for something. If not, I'll sell it.
Well, I'm just saying, if anyone tries to sell it for you that less than 10 gold, maybe 20 gold per, I mean, you're getting a ripoff. Those things are worth their weight in gold times 1,000,000, I say.
He grins. He's like, yeah, knew this was going to be a good haul. And he cinches up his bag again and tosses it over his shoulder.
Well, what is everyone else up to?
As I'm packing up for the day, packing my pack back up, rolling my bedroll back up, I think I find a screwdriver.
The screwdriver you retrieved from the infernal plane.
Yes. And I'm going to go return it now. Just gonna casually walk over here. It's a nice day. Till.
Oh, where'd you find that?
I found this in my bag.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, I found it on during the fight, but there was a lot going on, and I wasn't able to get it back to you in time.
Oh yeah, interesting that it made its way into your bag for so long and returned only now. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Is Cliff still down here floating with the boat?
Yeah, it seems like he plopped himself down in the boat and was kind of enjoying himself, slightly rocking it back and forth. I'm gonna plop him in the boat now. And it seems like he has not moved the whole time you guys were sleeping. He is in the exact same position, rocking the boat slightly with a somewhat stupefied grin on his face.
Can I rummage around through the boat and like on the dock a little bit to see if I can find any fishing poles?
Yeah, I'm actually not even gonna have you roll for that. On the southernmost platform, there's actually quite a bit of fishing equipment that was still put together. If you are familiar with the fishing equipment to begin with, you find it is a little bit odd. It seems like these fishing rods are reinforced, and the string that's put through them is not of any waxed hemp or silk as you've seen before, but in fact it is made from thin steel braided cable.
I'm gonna go up to Cliff and be like, hey, you wanna come over here and try something?
Try what?
Fishing.
I did that earlier.
No, you sank.
Yeah, that's where the fish are.
Yeah, do you want to catch some?
Oh.
Without getting in the water?
I thought you wanted me to be fish.
We can be fish later.
Okay, I like that one.
I'm gonna show Cliff how to fish, or at least try to.
I love the casual walking of this game.
I know it's so elegant.
Right?
It's like a slice of life anime.
I'm gonna take one of the poles and I'm gonna be like, "This is how you cast your line."
Luckily there are a few extra poles off to the side here, as you can see. As it takes about 3 tries, as you're like, "Oh,
Should
this
I
is how
roll
you
to
cast
cast
the line
my line?
overhead," and he just yeets it out into the water.
That's exactly what I wanted. You gotta hold on to the pole when you throw the line out.
After that description, he proceeds to hold the pole, look at the line. He expertly, as you showed him earlier, releases the latch on the line, throws the line without swinging the pole fairly far out, and then still throws the pole on the water.
No. You gotta keep the pole in your hand.
Why?
Forever. That's how you catch the fish. Not forever, but the entire time we're doing this. You want to keep the pole in your hand so it doesn't go into the water. Therefore, you can catch the fish.
And then around this third time...
I'm going to show him again.
Around this time, he still doesn't quite cast it like you're supposed to with the pole, but he holds the line in the hand, throws it as far as he can, about 30 feet out, and then still holds the pole in his other hand.
Good job.
And then he looks at you and says, "Well, what do I do now?"
You wait.
Okay. And then he sits there very quietly for a second. And he looks back at you and says, But how long?
Until you feel something on the other side of your rope.
But what's going to be on the other side of the rope?
A fish.
That makes me nervous.
What?
What if this happens to us when we're being the fish?
That's why you don't grab random hooks out of the air. Unless your friend's on the other side.
You do it once
You see,
you're hooked.
This fishing's complicated.
You see, we're smarter than the fish. And we wouldn't go around grabbing random lines from the air. Whereas they will see the hook and be like, hey, that's food. And they'll try to eat it with their mouths. The hook will get caught in their mouth, and then we'll pull it in.
He seems to be sitting there nodding for a while as if he understands, and then looks at you and says, "I'm still confused."
That's fine.
Okay.
Sometimes we go through life confused.
All right, so around this time, you guys see Ketetra and Caliestra actually emerge from the building. It seems like Caliestra is still fairly injured. She... one second. My view is messing up here. She is still limping on the one foot. Seems like she cannot put any weight on it, but her sister is helping guide her out of the building. Ketetra ends up kind of like waving down to Looney, being, have you talked to the rest of your companions yet?
I have not talked to them yet. But seeing as everybody is up and out, I should.
If you would, I would appreciate it. If you guys are not able to escort us, that is all right. We'll figure something out.
Nonsense. It should be fine. Let me just go talk to them. I'm gonna walk over the planks over to I believe Vol.
Vol, yep.
And tap him on the shoulder.
Vol's just sitting there looking over the... Oh, no.
Well,
Oh wow, that was
The railing does nothing.
it was a little bit more than looking over, it seems.
Yes, Vol is leaning over the bench, or the railing.
Oh, go ahead and drop him and I'll teleport him up.
Okay. Just, like, tap him on the shoulder and he's like, oh, hey, what's going on? We leaving?
Well, I was assuming maybe sometime today we would, but I wanted to talk about the two guides we have.
The guides or our guards?
No, the guides. The guards are fine.
Okay.
They've entertained themselves. But with one of the guides injured, they're not going to be able to make it back to their own tribe. So they were wanting to see if they could come with us to the city after we're done getting through the plains touched land.
Yeah, I guess we could. It doesn't, as long as it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody would have a problem with it, but I'm just checking with you. I don't think Fenric will have any problem. He seems to think the more the merrier.
Yeah, I think that you should go talk to Till.
Yeah, I do think Till may have some objections, as there was before, but we'll see what I can do.
We'll just outvote him. It'll be fine.
Okay, so well with that I turn and I walk away over to Till, and I come up beside him.
I am just standing there pretending I can see over this beam. Hey, what's up?
Hey, so I was talking it over with Vol, and he seemed fine with it, and I was going to come and ask you to make sure it was okay. But the guides, after we come out of the Plains Stitch lands, aren't going to be able to make it back to their tribe, so they were wondering if they could come with us.
Absolutely not.
And why not?
We have some strangers show up and say, hey, we're going to guide you. They are, air quotes, experts. And they immediately get injured and say they need to follow us to our destination. Is that not suspicious to you? You think they would not know how to avoid danger, yet they immediately lead us into a monster of some sort? Hello?
I mean, adventuring, that things like this happen.
Yeah, adventurers, things like that happen. Guides are supposed to help you avoid danger. All they've done is lead us into danger, and now they want us to take care of them?
Guides are
They're
just
dead weight.
adventurers with extra steps.
Exactly.
I don't know. They've gotten us through the plains fairly well.
I mean, sort of.
The
let us
danger we
into a-
came upon was kind of unavoidable, and there was no way to know it was there.
Well, for us, maybe not, but for experts of the Plains Touched lands, they should have been able to avoid it.
They said they are experts at navigating, not the experts on the plains themselves.
I mean, to me, navigating means being able to get through a place safely.
Across the way, you actually hear Lake pipe up from his conversation with Song and say, "Actually, it's rather surprising. Even the people who live within these lands seem to get into a bit of trouble every once in a while. It's not a safe place to live. I'm surprised things such as these humans have decided to stay around for so long."
See, they're incompetent. Thank you.
No, as with anybody, like you walking through your own home forest would have the same dangers present.
Are you calling me incompetent?
I'm saying that it could happen to anybody.
It doesn't happen to me.
Not yet.
Is that a threat?
I would
Yes.
never insinuate such a thing.
That's what I thought. You see, okay, well, we can bring these people, I suppose, but we should charge them a fee. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, seeing as they didn't charge us, I don't think we should charge them. They
mean,
just
I
have
didn't-
to take care of themselves. That's good enough for me.
I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't charge a fee either if I'm getting injured within, a day of meeting people I'm, air quotes, guiding.
Well, there was no planned payment beforehand. They were just guiding us through goodwill.
Yes, and they showed up without any ask.
Well, actually, they were asked by the caravan lead.
Well,
He had
I
sent
didn't
word
ask
for
them.
guides.
I didn't ask them. I'm just saying, we're already paying people to guard us, who might as well make a little bit of money to offset it. But, if you want to do it all for free, then that's your loss.
It's only 2 more people in the caravan. It'll be
Sure,
fine.
but, money's money.
I'm not too worried about that.
All
With
right.
that, I'm going to walk away.
Lake seems to give you an approving nod after the end of the conversation.
To me or to Looney?
To Looney. Sorry.
I,
I'll pretend it is at me.
I nod back as I make my way down to Fenric and Cliff.
All right, so I'm going to pause you over at the staircase as I'm going to switch to Fenric real quick. Fenric, you find as Cliff is sitting here almost completely motionless, like he's become lifeless stone as he sometimes looks, as a heavy bend starts pulling into his fishing rod.
I'm gonna set my rod down. That's when you start reeling.
Reeling?
Yeah, the little spinny thing on the side of the gadget, my dude.
And he kind of like grabs it and he says, "But what's it do?"
Twist it. Not like twist it. Here. I'm gonna like do the like
Twist it.
when you like reach around someone to help them.
Even with your large frame, you find that reaching around Cliff is rather
Or
difficult.
like around his shoulder and then grab his hand and put it on the reel and start in a twisting motion, reeling it in.
All right, so he starts reeling it in, and the tension just starts getting greater and greater. When suddenly the rod starts getting yanked from him and you. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
14.
All right.
Oh, no.
So Cliff, though he is a large mound of stone, also rolled really low as he gets yanked forward. And as you are holding on to him, I'll give you the choice on whether you're going to be going into the drink with him or letting go.
Would I be seeing this?
Yes, this is the scene you
I'm
walk
casting
into.
Bardic Inspiration instantly on both of them.
All right. It's a D6, correct?
Yeah, a D6 on. Well, so I guess it'd be a D6 to one of them. Who got the? Who's doing better? That it seems in my split second.
Me!
Yeah,
Okay, then
definitely
the D-
Fenric.
The D6 is going to Fenric. Then.
Did you just walk in and instantly start playing inspirational music for them?
I don't need to play the music to get the inspiration through.
Just
I'm gonna
give him a
like
compliment.
try to plant my feet and grab him.
All right, so with your 13 plus the 3, I'm going to say it's going to be enough to hold him on there, but there's definitely still something very large yanking on the other side of that, as Cliff is suspended between the pulled fishing rod and your grip, and you realize how heavy this large stone man is.
I figured he was gonna be really heavy. He's a large stone man. I'm going to be like, do you want to try to reel this in, or is it a lost cause?
He's going to look at you like you're a little bit crazy and be like, I'm not going to lose to a fish.
All right, let's do this.
All right. He's going to try to yank again, now being stabilized by your grip. And he starts yanking it in. He's forgone the whole winch system on the rod and just starts pulling on the steel cable.
I'm fine with that. Is his hands fine with that?
Yeah, it seems fine. I mean, he's got some big hands, so.
I'm gonna start walking backwards with him in my grasp.
All right, so as you guys get pulled back this way, you guys wrench onto the shore. A very, very large, very tooth-filled fish.
We have no visual representation for that.
Why is it not showing up?
Or
That's
do
weird.
we?
1 second. Technical difficulties. Let me try summoning that thing again.
Oh, that's a good one. TD, technical difficulty.
You guys see anything on your end?
Nope.
Anything? Nothing? Nothing at all?
Nope.
Nada.
Should I reload the map?
Let me try dropping a different mini real quick. Anything on your guys' end?
Nope.
Huh.
Bum, bum, bum.
Some dice.
Bum,
in the
bum, bum.
water.
Oh, hey,
there we go.
look,
Hey.
there's a turtle.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna kill said turtle, and then I'm gonna drop the original mini again.
Not the turtle.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there it is.
yep, that's
Alright.
that's a thing.
There we go.
Oh, God, he's angry.
So a large,
Tooth-filled fish.
angry, tooth-filled fish flops up onto the deck. It is of no breed you have ever seen before, but it seems completely unperturbed by the fact that it is now on land, and wants to get retribution for this disgrace against his honor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell out to everybody. I'm like, we have a fish on deck. We're gonna need some help over here.
You guys can handle that. It's just a fish.
I'm gonna
Oh.
cut the line one.
All right.
Cliff, this is your catch. What do you want to do?
You find that Cliff was already standing himself up and like squaring off with this fish in a boxing stance.
We fight in the shark.
All right. Well, this was a little impromptu here. Sorry, I'm getting up a stat block real quick. All right. Who is wanting to participate in this rather quick combat?
I can run at it.
I suppose
Yeah.
I could run over. So I don't quite see it from my angle, I don't think. But my impression is that they just caught a fish and don't know how to handle a fish. And having been a sailor, this seems incredibly silly to me that everyone's freaking out.
Fair enough. All right, so I think I'm going to isolate it to the fish, Cliff, Finn, and Looney. All right, everyone toss together some initiative real quick for me.
3.
All right, and I'm gonna get my things together real quick.
I saw that. Was that 3?
All right, so we're starting with Looney's turn. The scene opens up to pretty much them yanking this thing on shore, and then Cliff just immediately like popping into a boxer stance, like he's gonna start punching this fish.
Yes, I love you so much, Cliff.
So I'm going.
Sorry about that. I clicked off on accident.
Oh.
You're good. You're good.
And then I'm going to Thunderclap.
All right. Is there any dex saves or fortitude saves I need to take for that one?
It's going to be this super large sound, and it takes a d6 of damage, of thunder damage.
All right.
Three damage.
All right. So it definitely seems shocked by the sudden noise as you run up and clap at it. It kind of like thrashes in your direction a little bit. It seems like even though it doesn't seem particularly angry about being on land, it doesn't seem very dexterous here. It seems like it's just kind of flopping around like a loose fish.
Like a fish out of water.
Exactly.
But that sound would definitely catch everybody's attention on this place, because it's just a huge thunderous noise.
All right. Well, with that being that, then I will allow everyone else to join in at the end of this turnaround if you wish. All right. So that's going to move on to the fish's turn. It is going to be swinging around, and let's see, odds it'll attack Cliff, evens it will attack Looney. All right, it's biting at Cliff, the original perpetrator of its disgrace.
No.
Oh snap! It actually hits him. Let's see. All right, so it snaps down on Cliff, and you hear like a bit of a crunch noise, and you're not sure if it's stone or teeth that are breaking in the current moment, but either way, it's probably not good.
Cliff, no!
He's like, "Oh, I'm fine. I've had worse."
Okay!
All right, and with that, it's going to be going over to Cliff's turn, actually. So it's going to bite down on his right arm as he kind of like wiggles it, and it seems like it's in a really good grip. So he just cocks back his left arm and swings at this thing. All right, so he hits it. And he punches it right in the eye, releasing his right arm. This thing does not seem too happy about the fact. So Cliff is going to use his second attack to just body slam this thing backwards. And he does so and knocks it close to the edge. And now it's Finn's turn.
I'm gonna try to punch it back into the water.
$23.
All right, it's gonna make an opposed strength check, and it rolls well, but not enough. You slam it back the rest of the way off into the water. It seems like once it hits the water, its frustration is beat out by its embarrassment of getting slapped around on dry land, and it swims away. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Congratulations on winning the ridiculous impromptu combat I put together.
Didn't even. Oh no! Oh no! They're all. They're okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
It's just a fish.
Yeah. Looking over after the 6 seconds, actually less than 6 seconds of combat, you just see all of them standing there. There's a broken fishing rod in Cliff's hand, and everyone is drenched.
So how'd you like fishing?
I like this fishing.
I'm a thumbs up.
Looking around, you see you've gained a little bit of an audience from Song and Lake as they are standing across the way, watching the whole encounter, chuckling to themselves.
Do you want to continue fishing, or are you done?
I think I could keep fishing.
Okay, because I figured we'd do this until they told us to leave.
I'm gonna walk away before they pull up another one.
Fair enough.
As Looney is walking back, I'm gonna be like, so what everyone say? Oh, I fell in the water again. It's a dangerous game.
All right, let me see if I can find your mini.
Just look in the water. Oh no, the shark's coming for me.
I see Davy Jones' locker. It comes for you.
Okay. This is dangerous, guys. Whew. Vol is going to clear his throat as if nothing happened, because nothing happened. So what everyone say? About our guides coming with us.
Oh, Chill agreed to it, and I don't think Fenric's gonna mind. I was going to mention something until they pulled a shark onto the deck.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was a
Well,
lot.
I shouldn't say it was a shark. It was some kind of very large tooth fish.
So when are we leaving? How do we get out of here?
We should probably ask our guide. I was about to just return to them to tell them the good news.
Okay, yeah, let's go. And then Vol will just not float away.
Oh damn, Looney's a lot faster than I thought.
I mean, if it was imperative for us to move around while other people moved around, I'd say go for it. But yeah, I just floated over because time isn't really imperative at the moment.
So, Ketetra looks hopeful as you walk up. So, good news, I would hope?
Oh, yes, you are fine to come with us.
Oh, thank you so much. I really wasn't sure what we were going to do if not, but we really appreciate it. And if there's anything we can help with once we get to the city, we'll gladly do it.
Yes. We may have something for you once we get there, but before then, it's fine. As long as you can still guide us through the plains touched lands.
Of course. And with that being said, we do still have quite a bit of a jaunt ahead of us, slightly shorter than our direction getting here, but we should leave sooner than later.
I agree. Let's day it started. Let's go.
All right, let's gather everyone up. We'll be taking the that boat that we took here and heading to the northern shore and then continuing northward until we exit the plane-touched lands. From what I've been able to tell from the astrolabe, there isn't too much that will be between us and there, and we should have a fairly safe travel.
Okay. Vol's gonna turn around. I'll go get Fenric. Look at me flow.
All right. So while you're heading over there, everyone's going to be getting gathered over at... Oh, I just dropped Pit in the water. Gathered at the boat.
Pit's dead.
Yeah, Vol's just gonna walk up and like, oh, Fenric. Pit? No. Nope, bad with names. I think we're heading out.
Sorry we knocked breakfast back into the water.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those creatures. First question was, what does it taste like?
Tastes like breakfast.
Tastes like breakfast. Apparently not.
Cliff looks at Finn a little concerned. He's like, are you supposed to fight breakfast?
Man,
Only on a good day.
Okay, I like that kind of breakfast.
Gets the appetite going.
a hearty breakfast. Just gonna start walking away.
All right, and then it looks like Looney's over there getting Lake and Song together.
Yes, I was going to get them real quick and ask if anything was wrong.
I'm gonna go help with Katetra is the one that was broken.
Caliestra is the one that's
I'm
injured.
gonna go help with Caliesta.
Lake gives you kind of like a an odd look as you walk up, kind of like a little bit of like a not questioning, but more of like a skeptical look. And he says, well, I'll go help everyone get put together at the boat. And he seems to walk away and make a pointed look at Song before he walks away.
Seeing the look and everything, I'm going to give a questioning look to Song.
She kind of like waits until he's out of earshot and sighs a little bit and says, he doesn't think that we should trust you all. To be fair, we are just, guiding you through these plane-touched lands, but he seems to not think you guys are going to keep up appearances once we get towards the edge of the plane-touched lands. He thinks you're going to, send people back to get rid of us.
I mean, it's smart. You never want to trust somebody too far. But at the same time, while we're all in the same company, it's a little counterintuitive to not trust us without being given a reason.
She sighs and says, well, we haven't had the best track record with, other humanoids like you guys. Among the rest of the group, he's the one that doesn't think that we can really integrate back into your guys' kind of a society.
I mean, that's fair enough. People can be quite mean-spirited and quite evil. I have many stories of such. But as far as I know, we may have some tempers. We may have a temper or two within our group, but I don't think it's anything that would turn to betrayal or anything.
Well, I'm glad that you guys have been as amiable as you have so far. I'm somewhat of a voice of reason within the group, I guess, but I guess everyone has differing opinions. Thank you for being so easy to work with.
Of course. That's how I collect my stories. That's how a bard gets around and gets to know people.
Well, you guys. She kind of like looks over to the edge to make sure no one's listening in again. She says, "Well, you guys seem to know a lot, and if I can convince the rest of my group, I might have something to ask of you soon, but we can't talk about it yet. I'm already on Lake's bad side."
We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, just you can hold off until whenever you feel comfortable with that. And again, everybody has their area of expertise. So let's join the others on the boat.
She nods and heads over towards that direction. And she goes in the drink too. God damn it.
Whoosh! Whoosh, splash.
This map turned out really pretty with the way I put it together, but it makes it really hard to move minis around. Anyway, so with your help and Katetra, they put Caliestra on your back, and they move you on over to the boat.
Sweet. All right.
All right, and with that, we're going to be changing scenes.
You
Won
make
the
this
ball?
boat?
Oh yeah, I made that boat by hand.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted, but yeah, I think it turned out kind of cool.
It's beautiful.
Is good boat.
Just for a note to the viewers, we actually make all of these maps by hand. If there's ever anything that you want to do, I'm going to actually put together a thing in Tails Tavern for some of the custom creations I've put together in case anyone ever wants to mess around with the assets we use here on the stream.
That's super.
Yeah, I don't have it put together yet, but we'll definitely make sure to put it in our About page once I get it set up.
Good idea.
All right, so if we want to put on our loading screen, we'll be hopping onto the next board. Ooh, and a note to the cameraman. If during this next section, you could just leave the view angle like all the way up. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but where it'll start dissecting buildings and stuff as you're traversing through them. Just leave that all the way at the top if you could during this next scene.
Will do. I mean, I'm the cameraman. I'll do that. And to the viewers, getting about halfway to 50 subscribers, not subscribers, followers, which means once we get there, we can do a lot more fun stuff with bits and stuff. We can get affiliate. So 24 out of 50 followers. So remember to like and subscribe.
Like and follow so we can get subscriptions, because that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, so if everyone could hop on over to the crash site
Oh, it's dark.
board.
I have a suspicion that we've crashed.
Ah, no, not you guys. Spoilers.
So there's been a crash somewhere.
Okay. Are we ready?
Give it one more moment.
If possible, are we able... I'm not sure if this is something that I can change on my end, but the background music is drowned a little bit by the rain here.
Here, let me bring down our ambient rain sounds then. Apply to game board. Is that better?
Now I think the music's still pretty quiet. If you just want to turn the music up a little bit.
That better?
Yes.
All right. In this next scene, I will be leaving Caliestra off of the board as she is currently being carried by Fenric.
Wonderful. Oh, that's nice.
It is nice being on land again.
I'm going to bring everyone back.
All right, you should be all set up. So as your travels have gone through, you guys traverse through the ends of the plain-touched lands. You guys exit out the northern edge and find yourselves back into night. As you go through that veil on the last bit of the plain-touched lands and go back into the material plane, all of the atmosphere hits you. You realize that is, in your time being in the plain-touched lands, it has moved into a very brisk fall weather. It is night and it is pouring rain. You guys travel northward towards the mountains in hopes to find the pass through the mountains. At the base of the mountains, as it begins raining, the elementals say, "Well, it was good meeting with you, but we have business of our own, and we must split off."
What? You're just
Oh,
gonna...
sad days. Why?
Pitt chimes in saying, "Well, we've got business to attend to up in this area. You know, we don't just stay in the plain-touched lands. We're not quite as much of a part of them as other elementals should be."
Will we see you again?
Lake looks at you and says, "Maybe, if you're in the area."
We can meet up.
Song smiles to herself and says, "Well, I, for one, hope that all of you would meet up with us again. But going across these mountains into civilized lands might be a little beyond us at the moment."
Well, if you
I'm
ever
gonna
feel,
hug Cliff.
if you ever feel like you want to go out there, I am quite an expert at the social parlay and could be a good mediator, so...
I'm gonna tell him to be careful with the lady on my back.
He gives you a big old hug, making sure not to touch Caliestra. He says, "It was good seeing you." And then he kind of like lowers his voice like, "Our business should be within this area. We might see you before you leave."
Well, you guys...
Great. I'd hope we could fish again.
You guys guided us through your lands, so if you ever want the favor returned, we'll guide you through ours.
For the same rate.
Oh,
They chuckle. Pitt says, "I don't know if I'm going to need guidance through your lands or protection, but I guess someone who knows the way around would be nice."
I'm gonna kind of step up closer to Pit. Yeah, you can probably handle yourself, and I'll reach out my hand for a handshake.
He clasps your hand and says, "Well, it's good meeting you." And he kind of like seems a little embarrassed and not sure how to go through this part of the conversation. He says, "Well, if I see you again, hopefully we're still on good terms, you know."
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yep. And I just kind of like look away and quickly disengage from the conversation.
All right, and with that, the elementals, a couple of them end up like going slightly up into the air to survey the area and then head on east.
I'm gonna put my coat over Tetra to like shield her from some of the rain. The one on my back, not the other one. She's fine.
Yeah, that's Caliestra. Ketetra, though, does look at the group and say, with how long we've been traveling and with how heavy this rain is, we should find shelter. Maybe if we continue up towards the mountain, we can find some form of cliff face that might be able to shelter us from the rain.
But the cliff face just left.
She looks at you confused for a moment and then cracks a grin as she realizes the joke.
Something to keep our spirits up.
With the heavy cloud cover above you and the darkness of night, it is very difficult to see around you guys on this mountain path. From what you've been able to see of the area between brief lightning flashes, you see there's a deep ravine to the left side of this pathway up, and there may be some form of, cliff face or hillock up farther north.
I believe this is north.
Yes, that will be the northward direction.
I will follow whoever goes first.
I'm gonna start heading out. Let's go. This is a little scary.
As a note,
Are you
I
afraid
do
of the dark?
have some dark vision.
Okay, so definitely you would be able to see farther than anyone else. So as you guys are getting up northward here, to your guys' left, you start seeing that hillock that you've mentioned to everyone before. It seems to be a grass-covered mound of some sort. It's got grass and various plants hanging off of it, and there's a section of overhanging rock that has vines hanging down below it.
I would like to go up and investigate.
As you get up close there, you find that it is shelter from the rain. There's quite a bit of plants hanging down, so it's a bit drippy, but it's better than being in the direct downpour. And Katetra suggests starting up a small fire and maybe camping here for the night. We're trying to wait out the storm.
I'm down.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Seems to be a good plan.
Do I have?
There you go. You guys got a little campfire now.
Nice.
I'll take first watch.
Vol is just going to sigh, be like, "Oh yeah, watch us. We were spoiled. It was one night."
All right, so is there anything else you guys are going to be doing as the night leans on?
I just want to, or I want to have Vol just kind of walk the premises, just in the immediate area, make sure there's not a town on the other side of the wall, or just walk through fire. Just some very light exploration. Make sure there's no immediate danger.
Fair warning. You're probably gonna drop off the edge of the map right there.
Look at that. Nothing.
Yeah, walking around in the immediate area, and from what you know of the maps before you guys started your trek, there shouldn't be any civilization on this side of the wall. The war that caused the plane-touched lands seems to have wiped out any want of civilization in this area.
I will be spending some time during my watch whittling down small spikes. After making a wooden screwdriver, I got a bit inspired to make other things that I can launch out of my launcher, so I'm going to be making small spikes to do so.
All right. I'm not going to have you roll craft for that. That's going to be pretty basic. It'll just be like adding ammunition to your pouch for your fling spell.
Okay.
Yeah, so Arkan, you don't really find much of anything as you're going around. It seems like the area that you're in right now, there is no sense of travel or anything. There's no footpaths. It seems like you guys may have exited quite a bit of ways from the place that you expected to.
Okay. Yeah, Vol's just gonna come back to the camp and be like, nothing over there. We're good to go. I think we're safe.
All right, so is everyone going to be bedding down for the night?
Yeah.
I'll take second watch since still sticking first.
Doesn't Fen have a house?
That's true facts.
Do we want to use that, or are we comfortable out here?
It doesn't mean he remembers it.
Yeah, Vol's like,
I'm saying this out loud.
Would you guys know of my house right now?
I mean, we've seen you use a house in the city before.
I was gonna say, you guys did go on 2 adventures that were unbeknownst to our viewers before
Yes.
this. They have, in fact, I believe most of this party has spent a night in your house.
It's raining. It's not even
And
raining
with
men.
that being said, I might have to go on a quick adventure to go retrieve that that house real quick.
Mm.
So, one moment, my players.
All right.
My pretty players.
I hope this does not mess up your viewing.
No, you're good. It says waiting on GM. It's perfect. So, Till, what brings you out here, adventuring?
Oh, you
Perfect.
know, just trying to find an old friend. Let's just say that.
Wonder why I've never asked you this before.
I mean, a couple people have. I'm not so easy to mention the details, but I like you, so maybe I'll tell you more about it later.
Mystery. I like it.
Yes, very.
Mysterious.
How about you?
Just finding my place in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, who exactly do you worship?
I mean, I'm more of a worshipping of things, ideas, even maybe.
One could say that is most religions is, an idea.
Yeah. So Finrick, how you doing? How's your house coming?
Working on it.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it seems like Finrick is having a little bit of difficulty there finding it in his pouch, as he has not used it in a minute.
Rummaging. It's around here somewhere.
Just gonna like sit down, start playing ballad of some old heroes.
Some old heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally misheard that. I thought you said mold at first.
I also thought you said mold.
Mold hero. All hail the mold hero.
Would make a good story.
I feel like our recent traveling companions would know about this mold hero.
No. Old heroes though. More
Ice,
archaic
fire,
than any.
mold.
Is this an old hero in age? Like, are they an old person who decided to go on an adventure?
Oh no, it's actually a band of heroes that just happened to be around a long time ago.
And were they all old as well?
I don't believe so. It's just since they were around a long time ago, for us they're old.
Okay. Well, just an editor's note here. Maybe next time you tell the ballad, it would be a little more interesting if they were all old. It just seems more challenging, you know what I mean?
What if they were
Yes.
old and mold?
It does seem more challenging, but it also seems more unrealistic.
I mean, I don't listen to songs because I want them to be realistic.
Well, I admit that there is some picking and choosing that people will do with their tales, but I try to keep it as good enough to the story as I can.
Interesting. Well, when you tell our story, make sure you're very detailed in how cool we all are.
Oh yes, and I tell everybody about the Cyclops you defeated.
Ah, yes, found it. Here we go.
So you guys see as Finrick whips out what seems to be a small ceramic decorative house, sets it up in an open spot just to the north of you, and a full-sized house erupts from the ground, fully furnished, lit, and you smell a light campfire going on inside.
Oh,
All right, I'm going inside.
where did that come from?
From my pocket.
But we had
There you
such a
go.
nice fire out here.
I'm welcome everyone in.
I will continue my watch from out here in the porch.
You do you, boo boo.
As it gets left unattended and you guys are no longer guarding the fire, it quickly gets put out by the wind and the rain.
I'm gonna set Caliestra on the bed since it's the easiest area to set someone.
So as I make my way to the cabin and step over, I'm gonna note there's something odd about what I stepped on before going completely in.
Yeah, you find that as you're going through, you found what seems to be some old broken piece of possibly machinery. It looks like it's predominantly made out of wood and canvas, but if so, it has been here for a long, long time, as plants have sprouted through the canvas and most of it is rotted away, and the wood seems to be slightly splintered and cracked.
Okay.
All right, so I will actually go ahead and, as long as no one wants to be doing anything on their watches for the night, you guys will be proceeding on to the morning. But just before we do that, though, was there anything that anyone wanted to do throughout the night?
Just pull out my small box, do some prayers, and pass out on the not couch here. Maybe it's a couch.
Wonderful. All right, and with that being that, as you guys wake up in the morning, and who is taking last watch?
I plan on taking. Vol plans on taking last watch.
All right, so you could see this in gradual fashion, as when the morning comes, the cliff face that you guys began to take refuge from the rain was not a cliff face at all. Let's see if that applies to game board properly. There you go. It's morning. Before you, you see a large crashed airship, overgrown with plants and moss. It seems half buried into the muck of the ravine that was just to the left of the path you guys were taking. And the object that Looney had found last night was one of its broken wings.
Having served on one of these before, would a airship, I should say, would I recognize this as a model of airship I have been on?
No, it is much, much older. In fact, they do not generally make airships with this style of wings anymore. Most of them are propelled through other forms of engines or such. Whereas these wings are a much older style that you've only ever seen in like books or tales from old sailors you've worked with.
Okay, I will pass on that knowledge to the rest of the party as they wake up. That this is definitely an old ship.
Wow. Yeah, Vol will just sit there on his watch, kind of preoccupied by a giant ship. Not waking up anyone. We're not waking anyone up to tell them. Just looking at it.
Just like, we've seen enough weird shit on this trip. They can sleep in.
Just mental note. Oh, we're adventuring in that today.
I'm gonna search around for stuff for Bethis.
As I come out of the house, I'm going to like look at Henrik and then look at the well, and I'd be like, does your magical expandable house include a well?
Yeah, but I don't think it works here.
I mean, there'd be groundwater here. I don't see why not.
You would actually find that generally, as long as the depth of the well in your little, pocket house is sufficient, like, obviously it wouldn't work in the desert, but at a mountain pass like this, especially as there's heavy rain, which I should turn the sound off for now that I think about it, because it's no longer raining, it will actually get clear, clean water.
All right, bet.
So
We've-
who wants to go in the ship
Oh,
besides me?
I'm excited about this ship. Also, we need to make sure that we watch out for mold in this ship.
Mm.
Alright, if everyone's exited the house, I'm probably gonna pick it back up. Or are we
Yeah,
gonna leave
I
it
just
down
go
for a
straight to it.
minute?
We do have 2 injured. Oh, an injured guide and.
That's
the
true.
companion.
I'll leave it.
Yeah, they can hang out in there.
Yeah, Katetra says that she will stay in the house if you're willing to leave it and take care of her sister.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to immediately go up to the side of the ship and take out my grappling hook and shoot it up to try to secure a hold onto the side of the ship to climb up.
All right, make a range attack.
All right.
I'm gonna say she can stay there as long as she doesn't read my diary.
Okay, and Dex, that's going to be a 7. Nice.
All right, it shoots up and ends up getting tangled up in the vines hanging off the side of the ship before falling back down as the vines aren't able to hold the weight of the metal anchor.
All right, I'll spend some time reeling back in and getting it all set up so I can shoot it again. That's going to take a minute.
Can I try to climb the vines?
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength athletics check. With sufficient handholds, and you find that the wood of the side of the ship seems to be rather battle torn. There are sufficient handholds to climb up.
I'm gonna look down. Like, do you want to throw that grappling hook again? I think I can catch it.
I'll give it a try.
All right, make a shot.
All right. Yeah. Nat 20.
All right. With your and Finn's coordination, you end up shooting it just above him so that when it hits the edge of the rope, it kind of stalls for a minute and he's able to snatch it out of the air effortlessly.
Nice.
All right, Finn, you're able to anchor it down onto the ship with little effort.
Sweet.
All right. I will set it up so the rope is climbable for anyone else who wants to follow up, and I'll start climbing.
All right, once you get to the top of the ship, you find that it is also rather battle-worn up here. You find sections of the deck that have been torn up, but due to the moss growing on it, you find that these are probably old wounds on the ship. There's grass and mushrooms and various plants sprouting, but you find that structurally, the ship seems fairly well intact.
Bull would like to climb up the side.
All right, with the anchor, it is effortless going up, so I won't have you roll for that.
All right, I can't go up the side on my own.
Try shift clicking your character. It should let you teleport.
Oh,
Boop,
does it?
got you teleported. You're all good.
Shift click.
Are you going to be going up there also, Looney?
Yeah, once everybody was up, I would walk over and then come up.
Oh, you can. I don't know. Cool.
All right, I'm going to start heading towards the captain's quarters.
I'm gonna follow. Careful not to fall through the floor.
I'm gonna go over here and see if I can look off the bow of the ship, the front of the ship, whatever that's called.
All right. So, real quick, checking off the front of the ship, you find that there's quite a lot of earth piled up in front of it, and you begin to think that this may not have been a ravine that you guys were traversing next to, but maybe the rut that was created as this ship crashed long ago. Go ahead and roll a charisma check.
$11.
All right, so standing there on the front of the ship, you look sufficiently cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, so back in the captain's quarters, as you open it up, it seems like being the captain's quarters, it wasn't very lavish, even maybe when it was in good repair. There seems to be a fairly utilitarian military-style bed in the back, anchored down, where the linen sheets seem to have rotted away quite a bit. There's a flipped table in the middle of the room with maps and papers strewn across everywhere and a couple cups alongside. There is a bookshelf in the back corner with all of its books strewn across the ground, and a writing desk on the far end, which seems to have empty bottles of ink.
All right, I want to start looking through the papers and see if I can find logs.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh boy. That's a solid 9.
All right, searching through, you find a bunch of slightly tattered, very outdated maps. It seems like there's like a few like rusty pins stuck in the maps at various points, but you're not really able to glean much information off of it. All of the stuff pulled off the table seems to have scrawled shorthand notes that you can't seem to decipher.
Terrible bookwork.
Vol would like to go through the writing desk.
All right, going through the writing desk, you roll an investigation on that also.
No problem. 18.
You have a negative to investigation?
Don't judge me.
Oh, all right. I'll pretend I'm not judging you. Searching through the writing desk, you do actually find quite a bit. You find a few like shipping manifests that seem to be talking about various provisions, their tailoring services, a few repair costs, as well as you find hidden in a bottom latch under the desk, you find a small insignia stamp for wax stamps. There is a emblem on it that you don't quite recognize.
Excellent. I'm gonna bring it over to Till. Be like, hey, you know what this looks? You know what this is?
Let me take a look. I'm guessing I need to roll for this one too.
Roll a I think just straight intelligence on this one.
Here we go.
Or sorry, pulling up a character sheet right now. Is history a skill in 5e?
I don't think so. Oh,
Yes,
it is. It
history
actually
is.
is.
Yeah, so history if you can.
Okay, for that it will be an 18.
You notice that emblem is what seems to be a forged emblem of the sorry, pulling up my notes real quick. It is a forged emblem of the Kilnstein royal family. You can tell that it actually is a forged emblem, as it is not made of the proper material, as Kilnstein has a mage aristocracy. So it actually uses magic to impress their seals and not a physical stamp.
I will inform those exact things back to Vol. I don't know enough to make any conclusions off of that. Besides that, it seems like they maybe own this boat. Where'd you find that? Over in the writing desk?
Yeah. Those exact words that you relayed to me were very, very interesting.
Yes. Well,
yes,
maybe this is a main
indeed.
boat. I'm not sure. I'll have to keep looking around.
All right. So, what is Looney doing now that you're on the ship?
I'm just wandering around the ship, taking it all in. I wandered up to where the steering apparatus is.
Would Looney have any experience with airships or magitech prior to this?
Just any knowledge gleaned from stories of old.
So up here, you find that it looks like even with your inexperienced eyes, it looks like the controls up here are rather haphazardly put together. The center steering column seems to be original to the design, but there's various switches and dials built into the framework around it that seem to be not constructed of the same material, so you would assume they might have been added later.
Ah, good to know. Made over to the hole, look down into it, see where it leads.
Looking down that hole, you see Vol and Till just hanging out in there chatting. They seem to be talking about some, stamp or seal that they found at the desk.
Did you find anything useful down there? Anything that tells us about this place?
This ship might have belonged to a noble family that has to do with mages. But yeah, it's hard to tell if they actually were in charge of the ship, if they stole this, who knows?
Oh, why do you say that?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of people who would want to steal an insignia to be used to forge things, right? So,
Wait, there's an insignia?
yes, a
You
stamp.
want to have this conversation down
seal.
here?
Yes, let me come down there. I would like to see the insignia.
What if Looney just wants to feel tall?
Yeah, did you ever think about that, huh?
I think about that all the time.
I asked a question.
I'm gonna hurry down into the room.
Well, we were just on our way out. Here, I'll hand this to you.
So I'll
Right.
take the insignia and inspect it.
All right, go ahead and roll a history check. With your bardic knowledge.
13. Dang.
All right, so inspecting it over, you've come to a similar conclusion. It definitely is forged because, as I said, the royal family uses magic to impress their seal. Because all of their seals are some form of magic glyph. But seeing as it's a physical seal, you doubt that whoever was using this was from said family.
I'd hope I would have some indication of who this might have been from, but I don't.
Yeah, I say from stories and all that, you know that people have used forged seals like this before, but when it comes to a lot of the stories, it's usually very fanciful, like, some grand hero duping the head of the nation back in the old war and, winning some great battle.
See, from my experience, it's more so that someone just doesn't want to get caught by the law and they pretend they're someone else.
I mean, many people do many things.
Yes, but pirates do very specific things.
Yes,
Specific
What?
piratey things.
that's true, but just because they're on a ship does not mean that they're pirates.
All right, Finn, boy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to open this door. This floor door.
The floor door. They seem to the hinges seem to be working still fairly well as you're able to wrench them open and go into the lower decks. As you get down here, there's quite a lot of debris from damage over the years, but it seems like whatever mechanical contraption is built down here seems to be in fairly good shape, oddly enough. There seems to be no structural damage across its pieces.
I'm gonna shout up, "Hey, Till, I think you'd like this."
What? I'll go ahead and start heading down.
Till, as you get down, you definitely do like this. As I said, it is of a much older design than you've seen before, as it is using the winged propulsion devices, but it seems to be a much more intricate design than you're usually used to. On the older propulsion systems, it was very simple. Each one had its own propulsion tank and all that, where all of these are interconnected to a larger system and propelling together.
Oh, man. That seems unstable. One goes down, the whole thing could go down. Wonder if that's what happened.
I'm gonna start collecting pieces of wood and stacking them nicely in a corner so that no one trips over anything.
Thank you, Fen.
All right, so Till, go ahead and roll a, I don't know, profession maybe. Oh god, I always forget that there's no actual profession check here. Go ahead and just roll a intelligence and add your level to it,
All right.
along with your proficiency, obviously.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 19.
All right. Inspecting it over, you find that other than the damaged wing outside and a few other damaged components you haven't inspected, you think this thing could probably get working again. Like, it is in perfectly working condition.
I will announce so to everyone. Hey, everyone! We could use this ship. I think I can get it working.
You do?
Yeah,
Are
it's
we
actually
gonna
not too
need
bad.
materials or anything?
Well, we need a few things here and there, but I mean, it's a lot of things we should be able to salvage from the ship and get it working. These kind of ships, they hold up for a long time.
Vol's just gonna come down and take a look. Do we have any other ways to get where we're going?
Your guys' original plan was to take the old trade route through the mountains, which was going to be a long, hard trek through these tall mountains. But as you guys have come through the elemental plains, you guys aren't actually sure where the path is. You might be spending time out here in the countryside looking for it to begin with.
Do I notice these like boxes and stuff in the corner?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start rummaging.
All right. Roll an investigate check.
I would also be looking for the cargo, and assuming that that's where it is, I'm going to start heading that direction as well.
All right.
15.
All right. So with a 15, you're rummaging through all of these boxes and all that, and a lot of it seems to be old, like foodstuffs, real kind of nasty stuff. You find a few old rusted weapons that still seem to be somewhat serviceable. They seem to be some form of bulk section, like amount of weapons that was bought probably during a war. They seem like standard issue military kind of stuff, long swords and short swords. But you do find one cask that when you pop it open, you kind of hear this air seal going on as the tar separates. And as it opens, you see a box full of uniforms.
Fancy. Are they like in good? Are they in good condition?
Yeah, as you pull one out, they seem to be in fairly good condition. They're made of multi-layers of linen. They don't seem to be able to offer a lot of protection, but it seems like these uniforms are somewhat of a form of armor also. They're jet gray in the middle with bright red sleeves, the pants matching the gray of the tunic.
We can probably sell these.
Or
Possibly.
wear them.
As you look over them, there seem to be a few like emblems on the back, ones that you don't quite recognize.
I'm gonna start gathering some of the weapons that seem more serviceable and bringing them over to my hut to fix them up later.
All right. Till, go ahead and roll an investigation check also.
Alrighty. Yeah, we're looking around for anything that can help us, repair. That's going to be a 12.
All right, searching around, you definitely find a lot of serviceable lumber from the debris around, and it seems like they actually did have a stock of material for ship repairs, likely when they're out on voyage. You find rolls of waxed canvas for repair on the wings. You find areas of treated lumber, whole vats of cooled tar, and various other materials.
All right. I'm going to gesture over to Fen and ask if Fen could help me carry some of this stuff over.
Of course.
All right. Vol and Looney, what are you guys up to?
Vol is gonna go get some trouble.
Oh, good. What kind of trouble?
There are doors down here. He's gonna go
You
in.
find nothing!
Oh no.
Actually, as you go into this room, it does look like it used to be used for some form of storage or somewhat, as there's a lot of heavy scuff marks across the ground. But as you enter, it looks like this area may have been purposely emptied. It's just conspicuously empty.
Vol is going to look for a way down, because it seems like, due to the shape of the boat, there might be more down.
All right. Go ahead and roll and investigate.
Okay. As discussed earlier, I'm great at these. Bacha! 4.
Yeah, searching around, you're not really able to find much. You kind of are able to confirm your suspicions that there probably is something below here, as a lot of the pipework does seem to be going through the floor. But beyond that, you're not really sure.
Well, that's what Vol's gonna be doing for a while.
All right, Looney, what are you up to?
Just digging through the papers up in that other room.
Roll and investigate.
Let's see. Investigate's going to be 16.
All right, so as you're going through, you find a lot of the same things that Till did, but with your background, you're able to glean a lot more knowledge out of this. The maps that you're finding seem to be maps of regional areas that don't exist anymore. A lot of the areas that you're finding on these maps are from an old kingdom that used to exist under the Plane-Touched lands before the war. A lot of these rusted pins that he found pinned into maps and all that are pins that are generally to indicate troop movements. But the odd note you find in here is that a lot of the pins are to show enemy troops, but there are no pins on the map for Allied troops.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like flip the table back over and start like piecing things back together. Like kind of just sorting stuff.
All right, yeah. As you'll flip the table back over, and pardon this, it will look a lot prettier than it's supposed to, but yeah, you flip it back over and you find that there's more maps that were still pinned to the table, and a small model ship of the ship that you are currently sitting on, and you get a nice little tightness in your chest as looking at this small model ship, completely undamaged and still painted, you can already start humming this next song that you're about to write.
Okay.
The model ship is of the Sanctuary, the famous ship of the Red Arm Brigade.
Oh, I get it. The outfits have red arms.
Yep.
Good investigation.
So as the knowledge comes back to me from like stories I had read and everything, I'm like, we found something here.
Yeah, from what you know of history, the flagship of the Red Arm Brigade was lost during the final battle of that war, and was never recovered, along with the full leadership of the Red Arm Brigade. They were a rogue group that went around helping the townsfolk. They opposed the war like so vehemently, believing that it was going to tear apart the countryside, which, as history has shown, it did. They expended all of their forces and assets just to go around, recruit more people, and save small towns and evacuate them through the war path that was going through the region. The group nowadays is more of a fairy tale than anything else. Everyone knows that they were an actual historical group, but it's almost like stories of Robin Hood, of these, selfless people flying in and saving the town at the last moment, and various bards' tales have been written about this group.
Okay. Which means I get to have something closer to the truth. But yeah, I'm just going to continue to collect the information as the rest of them are doing their stuff under the deck of the ship.
All right. So, Finn, you get all of your stuff moved over into your house, all of the weapons. Do you bring the uniforms and everything in there also?
Nah.
All right. So, you guys are going to be moving materials around, and I'm going to have Till go ahead and roll a craft check with your tools to see if you're able to repair this ship.
Alrighty. Yeah.
It's all on you.
That one.
What?
The ship falls apart.
Pulled out the
Not
linchpin.
the ship was gonna blow.
Ship splits
All
in
right.
half.
You are looking at this and you're like, all right, this is still serviceable. And I think my first course of action is I'm going to turn it on just to see what might still be wrong. And as you turn one of these on, you hear it start to hum. You give it that little charge of magic that to get it jump started. And one of the tanks just straight up blows up. One of the pipes just pops off. And one of the wings on the far side just goes limp.
Progress. Everything's fine.
Vol's just gonna yell out from another part of the ship, "What did you do?"
Hey, I like to see you do better, okay? I mean, you probably could, but let's just stay calm. I need some replacement parts, so if anyone can help look around on the ship for just a few more parts, I may be short a few now. Yeah.
I'm gonna look around for anything mechanical.
Yeah, anything mechanical will do.
Yeah, Vol will also do that.
It's insight, yeah. I roll insight.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, insight for that one.
So that'd be 17.
All right, so as you're going through the stuff you were inventorying before, trying to look for mechanical components, you do find a few of these pipes, but you're not able to find a new canister. It seems like the canisters may not have been a replaceable part. Till, looking at the parts that Finric found, though, you think you might be able to bypass that pressure, that canister.
Okay. That sounds difficult. I will spend however long it needs to be just doing that. Also, anyone else who doesn't want... I'm going to just speak to the whole party who can hear me. Whoever doesn't have anything else to do, if you want to start cleaning up the ship, we need to get this thing running and also, livable.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start throwing broken bins out the side.
All right.
Vol's just gonna walk up and be like, "Okay, so we didn't say it, but are we fixing the ship to use it? Did we just claim a ship?"
You're saying you came
Our ship
across
now.
a ship that's potentially usable, and you don't just want to do that automatically?
I mean, I'm
Am I
not
the
saying.
only one?
I just want to make sure we're on the same page here, because we didn't say it. But
I'll put it this way: I'm going to use this ship, and I'll figure out a way to sail it alone if you all don't want to help.
we'll give it a couple days, and if we can't get the ship off the ground or figure out how to do it, we can't stay here forever. We have things to do.
Yes, but imagine how much time this will save. You really want to walk the whole way when we could just fly there instead?
Oh no, I agree with you. Just I'm not spending a month here.
And it'll get time for our friends to finish whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Also, there's a pipe missing over there.
Yes, I know.
like I walked through it. I don't know a lot about what's going on here, but there was a line, and I walked through the line, and it didn't work. So
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
okay. Vol's just gonna go wandering around collecting wood and putting it into the front section of the boat.
All right. So, with that being said, Till, as you start itemizing up the repairs that you're going to need to do, I'm going to have you roll another craft check with your level added in on there.
Oh, it's not a 1. Damn, not rolling too well today. Let's see. What would a craft be? Is that just...
So, when you're using a crafting tool, with the tool that you have, you should have a +1 plus your proficiency because you are proficient in that tool. And then I'm having you add your level in there as well, seeing as this is your specialty.
Okay, so that would be a 9 then.
All right. So, with its older design, you haven't had an extreme amount of experience in it, but you feel like you can get this thing almost working again. It seemed like it might have just been a maintenance issue before. With its current problems, you guys might be here a couple days as you're trying to patch up the bypass and get this thing functioning again.
Oh, it's a good thing you gave me 2 days. I'll definitely need it.
All right. So, what is everyone going to be spending these next 2 days on? As long as that is the plan we're going to be going with.
I'll be cleaning up the ship while it's light out, and then when it gets dark out, or like darker towards the evening, going in and trying to clean up some of the weapons, and then sleeping. Rinse and repeat.
Vol wants to find that lower deck.
All right. I'll have you roll another thing for that.
Can I take a 2 days check on it?
Yeah. I'm gonna say you can go ahead and take a. Yeah, I'll just let you do it on a couple days on searching around for that. Seems reasonable enough. I feel like if you got 2 days to search around and comb through an area, like you'll have some time.
It will be my sole purpose in life.
All right. All right. How about Looney?
Take the time for to just gather all the papers and organize them, and take what I want from them for stories to be written.
All right. So, across a few days, you definitely find plenty of material. Like you find old shipping logs. You find a ship's log of like different ports and cities it's landed in. All kinds of good juicy stuff. All right. So a few things that are going to happen over the next couple days, though. Looney, at one point when you and Till are getting things fixed up here, you're helping him get these motor mounts that attach to the wings cleared out and oiled. One of them, no matter what you do as you're putting oil in and you're clearing out debris and plants, you cannot get this thing moving. Through investigating through it, you find that there's a really like a heavy blockage like all the way down at the bottom. It seems like there's some kind of metal bar or something just piercing right through one of the rods.
Do I see this as well, or?
Yeah, you would have been working in the room at the time.
How easy would it be to get down and remove this?
With your smaller frame, you should be able to climb into the gearbox and, possibly get a better angle at it.
Okay. Hey, Looney, do you want to give me a hand here? I want to make sure I don't fall here. I need to climb around and get this.
Wait, where are you
thing
at?
removed. This wing that we're working on, it's got some stuck inside it, and I need to get this out. So if you, I don't know, I'm a little worried about falling here. So if you just, I'm gonna toss you some rope, and you want to hold on to it while I climb down and get it.
Sure. I just was wondering where you were at.
Oh, for addressing this with everyone, you could probably just stay here on the lower decks. And where's my ruler? It's bound up within the one wing over here. The wing that's missing, I should say.
Is the bind on the outside or the inside? Do I have to climb outside the ship to get to it?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so I need to get on the top here, and if you could give me a just like, a little bit of assistance getting down there, that'd be excellent.
If you have a rope, we can tie a rope around you, and I can lower you down.
Yeah, I have a rope.
I'm down to do that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so I'm gonna have Till go ahead and do either an athletics or an acrobatics check, whichever you prefer.
Oh, that'll definitely be acrobatics. Let's see. Can I use this one? I can use that dice. All right, that is going to be a total of 14.
All right, and I'm going to have Finn. You're not even going to have to roll on that one. With his light stature, you're just going to be able to just hold him as he's hanging down there. So Till, looking through and with Looney guiding you, you're able to see the obstruction. It seems like, as odd as this sounds, someone took a very ornate rapier and just stabbed straight through the workings of this.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's likely that this damage is what caused the wing to fall off to begin with.
Seems like we found our source of the initial problem. Someone tried to stab the ship to death, and it worked.
Must have got a 20.
I'm
What a
gonna
mighty
try
warrior.
to yank that thing out of there.
All right, roll a strength check.
Oh boy. That is a 15.
All right, you're yanking on this thing, you're pulling, and it is not coming free. It seems like whatever force put this thing in there, it was a lot.
Ben, let's swap.
Am I gonna be able to fit?
How far in do you have to be to yank this out, Mr. DM?
With all of the mechanics that are sticking out of that port window, you're not sure if Finn will be able to get his arm in there.
I'll do my best.
Well, shit. Maybe I want to try to rig it so I can get this out of there with like not just grabbing it, but maybe like tying something around it. We can all pull on it, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get the angle for that. Maybe we can go down below and pull on it from below.
All I gotta do is like get level with this window and like try to reach in, right?
Yeah, but your hand might be too big. That's the problem.
I can do my best.
I mean, he can try, but you, from your vantage point, you definitely see you might be able to rig something up. But yeah, it's up to you guys.
I think it's probably more efficient if we just try to rig something up. I really don't think your hand's gonna be able to fit in there. So let's just let's do that. Let's get a rig. I'm gonna try to tie something around this. We can all just yank it and try to get it out as a group from below. Do you want to hand me a rope?
Yeah. I'll hand you my rope.
With that, I'm gonna try to tie a rope around the rapier as best as I can. And do I need to roll for that or no?
I would just do a flat dexterity check on that.
Should I be outside of the ship to try and rip this out, or?
Yeah, I believe being outside of the ship would be advantageous because, Till, you were saying your original plan was pull it from below, correct?
Yeah, or we can try to walk onto the wings, but the wings seem like not a total stable place to stand on, so...
Oh, I was gonna stand below the ship because it doesn't look like the window's too far up from where I am.
Yeah, I think it's a good angle. It's a 15 to tie it around the rapier.
All right. You seem like it's pretty secure in there.
All right. I'm going to climb down. Does anyone else want to help us pull on this, or is it just us two?
I can go and help.
I'm already up here, so I'll probably just step over and help.
Do I roll strength?
Yep. Everyone go ahead and roll strength.
I got a 9.
I got a 3.
21, nat 20.
All right. And Looney?
18.
Virtual dice really
All
do
right.
not
So
like
you
me
guys, luckily, the bard and the cleric carry the team. As you guys are yanking on it, you guys aren't able to really get much movement on it until Looney and Vol just kind of like make eye contact, plant their feet into the muck, and then just rip at it. And the rapier comes free. As it clinks to the ground in front of you, you find that it's a little odd that, one, the rapier is completely undamaged, as well as it's completely untarnished. There seems to be not a speck of rust on this thing.
Ooh. Gonna pick it up and check it out and look at it.
Looking at it, it is an Espada-style rapier, whereas a very thin thrusting sword, it does have an edge on either side, so it is able to cut as well as thrust. Very ornately designed, and seems to be made of some light matte silvery material. The handle is a wire basket handle, ornately designed around the hand, with a metal emblem welded onto the outside of a thin, long-beaked bird perched in a very aggressive stance.
Vol's gonna hand it over to Looney and be like, "This seems something a little bit more your speed."
I was about to say, would you mind if I tested it out?
Yeah.
With that, I'm going to take it and give some flourishes and a few jabs to the wind.
This thing is immaculately balanced for a fencing style. This thing, it just feels so comfortable in your hand as you're holding it. You feel like there may be something more than masterwork design about it. And something about that design tugs a little bit at your memory, but you're not sure what yet.
The rest of you don't mind if I were to hold on to this, do you?
Nope.
I use my fists.
Yeah, I'm good. You take it.
I'll just call dibs on any firearms we find, just saying.
I'm going to loosen, basically create another loop in my belt where my other rapier is, and then sheath it right next to it.
All right, perfect. All right, so the rest of the next few days go by fairly uneventfully. You guys are able to get everything running, and after the investigation of the mechanics in the wing, Arkin, you are able to find the lower area, which, to break character for a moment, I don't have designed under there. But below the ship, you do find a lot more of the inner workings of the way this engine works. You know, all of the distribution tubes and all that. It does seem to have somewhat of a traditional bilge down there, even though airships generally have no need for such.
Also, I'm Arkin. Maybe I should change my name to Arkin. Okay, cool. Yeah, after that, I'll just keep cleaning up the ship and kind of organizing things, putting things where they need to be.
All
any building material or like spare parts, I'm going to organize in the front, in that storage room.
All right, wonderful. So as the days go by, it finally gets to the day of the test drive. Till, you if you could give me one more craft check.
Okay, let's get a good one. Oh no, nope. That's gonna be a solid 7.
All right, so it goes off to a rough start. It seems to buckle and sputter. You guys were not able to get that one wing attached, so it is currently just sitting up on the deck and rocking around as the whole thing shakes and moves, but it does slowly rise into the air.
Vol's
Alright,
just
I
gonna
can do
like
it.
look at him and be like, "Do you know what you're doing?"
Nope.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Vol's gonna look over the side of the ship as he's rising off of the ground, like, "It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine."
Say, with all the buckling and noises and a couple days to rest, both Caliestra and Katetra both run out onto the porch and start cheering as the airship slowly starts to hover up a little bit shakily.
Yep. I'm a hero. Praise me.
I guess I'll go pick my house up.
All right, so Caliestra and Katetra both go down and help you pack up the few things outside as you bring down the house into a small ceramic model again, and you guys get ready to lift off.
Vol will be praying.
Go ahead and roll a religion check, Vol.
A religion check, rude.
Go ahead and do it with. I think your class goes off of wisdom, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that with wisdom because I don't know why religion is an intelligence-based skill.
I think it's like knowledge of religion, but I feel like that would be history.
Yeah, that's what I feel too, and I'm pretty much just putting you down for a praying check.
Okay, excellent. Get my dice ready. Bum, 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 bum. 14. 18 in total.
Beautiful. You definitely feel like this may be an important moment as you get a little bit more connection than you usually do in the outworld while praying.
Excellent.
Is our ship safer now because of that?
We'll see. As your character might be able to take heart in that, but you actually don't know what religion he's part of.
Yeah, I have no idea what the heck is going on with Bull. Okay. I have trouble deciding whether I'm going to continue trying to double check the systems and make sure it's working, or immediately start working on cannons.
All right. Well, actually, with that, let's go ahead and move on to another map.
All right.
Gonna do some loading.
All right. So I'm going to summon everyone to the next board real quick.
Is that, which one is this one?
Oh, I should be able to summon you guys all in.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Let me plop out all of your minis.
It's like you planned for this.
Yeah, I totally... Yeah.
All right. I'm going to the front of the boat. This time, no falling. Oh man, the clouds look really cool. That's a cool effect.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll just have a couple more small things to get put together real quick.
Okay, I brought everyone back so they could see the boat.
All right, so as we're back now, the ship sputters and shudders up into the air. Let's just go ahead and theater of mind a little bit that one of these wings is not there at the moment.
Oh no.
Did any of us collect the wing before we started going up?
Yes.
Yes, you guys had it on the deck.
All right, sweet.
The ship, as it raises up into the air, seems to shake and shudder really heavily as it starts to climb and try to get above the foothills of the mountain. Who are we going to have trying to... Oh, you're already up by the helm.
I feel like it would be irresponsible to assign anyone else to it.
Fair enough. Go ahead and... let's see, what check we're going to use for this. I'm just gonna have it as a flat dex check, and then later, or actually, you know what? Do you have proficiency in any vehicles under your character?
I believe with my background, I do have knowledge in sailing a boat.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead and add your proficiency in that also.
Okay.
Seeing as you are an airship pirate, I'm not going to relegate you to strictly waterborne vehicles.
You're a what?
Sailor. Sorry.
Yeah. I went places. You know, the dice aren't super happy with me today. So that.
Did you hit something?
No, it's an 8. It's an 8. It's an 8. So it wasn't a 1. I think my character might need a nap or something. Like it's just been a long couple days. I've been working a lot of hours on the ship, so let's just say I'm dozing off at the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely decapitate quite a few trees on your way up. You're not sure how much of it is the weak modified engine and how much of it is your creative flying methods, let's call them. But there's definitely a lot of shaking and heavy, you're definitely hitting objects as you're trying to gain elevation. And you actually feel one really big lurching thud as you seem to have scraped across something large that you didn't see.
Vol, you want to check? Just check behind us, see if there's anything dead.
Vol's just gonna run to the back and make sure that nothing looks bad.
As you get towards the back, you don't see anything, but you're hanging really heavily to the left. And, whatever you guys might have hit, it must have been like a thick tree or something, because there's no large structures that you guys could have hit.
Just kind of hanging to the left. I think we might
check
hit
the hole.
Might hit a tree.
Just do a quick check below for me real quick, if you wouldn't mind. I want to make sure we're all we're clear.
Vol is going to use thaumaturgy as he's on top, and he's just like, everyone check the hole!
Okay.
Alright, so where's everyone going down to?
I'm gonna go to the second level, I think.
Alright.
And if that looks fine, I'm gonna go down to the downstairs.
Actually, once you get to the second level, sorry, setting up one last minute thing here. Is anyone else going to the lower level with Finric before I do this?
I was gonna stay on the top and just hang on to the banister as I peeked over.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay up here. As much as I may not be doing the best job, it would be much worse if I weren't on the wheel. So.
I'm gonna also go down there because of reasons.
All right.
I have a high wisdom score. I don't want my friends going anywhere alone, or it might be dangerous.
All right. So as you guys go down there, you are shocked, and as are they, as you see Lake and Cliff.
Our friends!
I'm
gonna hug Cliff.
Looks too particularly happy to see you.
I'm still gonna hug Cliff.
You walk up and hug Cliff as he's kind of like tense, and he doesn't seem to hug you back, actually. And Lake looks at you guys and says, "Really? You?"
Yeah, us. Hey, what's going on? You left us here.
What do you think of all the people, what do you think you're doing?
Flying!
Counting the moments until my inevitable plunge to the ground in death?
Counting the days you're gone.
I say precisely why we're wondering what you're doing. We've been trying to get this ship flying for years, and now you're going to crash it into the mountainside?
No, I think we're good. Do you know how to fix a ship? Till does. He's got it.
Do you guys know what that huge
Got
thump
it.
was?
Cliff looks you dead in the eye and says, "That was me."
Oh no!
He says, "I knew we shouldn't have trusted you guys. You coming in and grabbing our one way out of there, like taking it for yourselves, and people say we're bandits."
Well,
No one was on the ship.
you are.
It looks very abandoned.
Yeah, you can come with us.
Do I hear any of this?
No.
Lake's not being quiet, so you might hear some shouting below, but being up on top of the ship, you've got a lot of wind in your ears, and the engine is a lot louder than it was designed to be at the current moment.
Definitely gonna make my way down.
Actually, I'm going to have you stay up on the edge real quick, Looney, as around that same time, give me 1 second. Oh no, did the other models not load in? Give me 1 second. There we go. You see Song and Pit fly up over the edge of the ship and hover above the wings, looking you down. And Song looks a bit concerned, but Pit looks furious.
I'm gonna wave to both of them, like try like smile, lighten the mood. I wouldn't like looks. Pit usually looked angry, so.
Do I see them as well?
Yes, at this point you definitely see them fly up across the edge of the ship.
Can they hear me from here, considering all the wind?
If you shout, probably.
I would immediately shout and be like, "Oh, good, you're here. We need help below."
Pit kind of like looks at you and gets like, flares up and says, "Oh, you're gonna need a hell of a lot more help than that in a minute."
Yeah, you're probably right. It takes a lot of people to man a ship, but we need more right now. So if you can get down there, you're the two most capable people we've met in a while, so you probably could do a lot of good work.
Ouch.
Oh, that's a good one. Give me a second to think of a response for that one. He kind of like sizzles out a little bit, but his flame is still much higher than his standard. And he says, "Me help you on my ship?"
We'll talk about that later. That's gonna be a talk. We'll just have to. Yeah. No. Just go below.
Well, yeah. This is definitely something we could talk about when like there isn't something on the ship.
Oh, so now So now you want to leave us behind? You want us off the ship? Huh?
No, there's something on the ship that we want your help with.
Yeah, we want you specifically on the ship below. I mean, is communication difficult here? Like, come on. Time's of the essence. Ship might crash. Let's go.
You see that Song actually looks a little bit more receptive to your words and kind of like looks at Pitt and then looks back at you and says, how well do you think you're handling this ship at the moment? Because it doesn't seem like you're doing very well at all. And I can see why we're concerned when you're handling the one thing that we have been working on for years.
So, you've been trying to get this ship to fly for years, and I got it to fly in 2 days. I think I'm handling it pretty well.
She looks down as you are still dragging through the tops of trees, decapitating the top, splintering wood everywhere, and looks up at you and says, yeah, we'll say that.
I'm going to kind of like put it as like, seeing as this is the first time they've ever flown a ship, it is not the worst, but it definitely will take a moment to adjust.
Can we all stop debating the efficiency of my flying and get down there and fix this so that we don't can crash? Captain's orders, let's go.
With
the
that,
captain.
Pitt just erupts. The captain? Who do you think you are? As he just starts spewing fire everywhere. And
Hit the ship. The ship is fire. Like it will light on fire if you keep doing that. Also,
yep. And with that, you find that the wing that he is directly above does catch fire.
Lake? Is Lake here? Like, is Lake here?
Says, who do you think ended up shaking the boat from downstairs?
The boat's on fire. We could really use you right now.
All right, and with that, I'm going to be switching scenes down to below decks. You guys definitely hear some form of commotion up top, and then that's when you hear Looney shouting down the bolt hole to you.
I'm gonna run up a little bit, see that it's on fire, and be like, hey, Lake, you're wet.
He says, see, this is why this never should have happened. Do you think, what did you think would happen when Pitt gets angry like this? I can't.
Hopefully not set the whole ship on fire. That'd be great.
Well, obviously you don't know him very well.
Obviously, we don't know any of you very well.
But with that, Lake does run upstairs real quick.
Lake, perfect.
Yeah. Can you put out the wing so we can, continue to talk and possibly get into the air more?
He looks at you and says, well, not with him standing there. The ship is not as important as my friend's life.
Oh, well.
No, that's valid.
That's fair, but can we get him to the ship or can we get him off of the wing? Song, can you help?
She looks a bit torn as she's looking between Lake and Pitt. And she says, well, I mean, and the whole time, Pitt is raging, and he's shouting half sentences and profanities at Till up at the wheel.
I'm gonna shout back, hey, Pitt!
I'm going to cast Charm Person on Pitt.
Whoa.
Oh. Go for what you're doing, but that's what I'm gonna be starting to do.
Actually, I'll have you both roll initiative to see who wins out on that, since we're not on initiative rounds.
Okay.
You go first.
All right, so Till, go with what you were saying first.
I shoot him. No, I'm just kidding.
Goddamn.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna tell him I don't trust anyone else to fly this ship, and I need to get off the wheel. Can you please come fly this ship for me?
He begins shouting about how he's like, what? Is this some form of charity? Are you scared now?
Can I say something?
Traveling up towards you.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna respond to those words. I'm just gonna wait for him to get here.
Also, go ahead and roll a deception on that one.
I was telling the truth. I don't trust anyone else to fly the ship.
But your intention was deceptive.
Hmm. Okay, that's a... What is my deception? Oh, that's just a +0. So that's a 17.
Well, he rolled low. So he goes up there. He's still obviously very angry, but he's at least going up towards you, up on this upper deck. Here, and actually, just so I can keep track of this, 1 second. Putting down a bunch of fires from where he's been.
Seeing the fire on the actual ship, I'm going to start trying to stomp it out.
Yep.
All right.
What do you want me to roll for that?
We have to have water reserves on the ship, right?
Dexterity?
You did not see any. Likely when the ship was in operation there was, but not at the current moment.
Oh. I have Create Destroy Water as a spell. And I would have refilled those. If you would let me.
All right, buckets.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll a percentile on that, just to see if you thought about it during the leading up days.
Okay. Let me just throw one of these. Oh! Don't just ignore that one. That's fine.
Goodbye, dice.
That is a. Let's say that's a 72%. Because you rolled a 70 first. So I'm going to say that you did.
Okay.
I just feel bad that you rolled well on the first roll.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you would have done that. So you do know there are a couple buckets of water below decks.
Is this charity?
Oh, yeah. So he's up there. He's yelling at you, Till, saying, if you know how to fly the ship so well, why would you hand it off to me, huh?
I'm just not
Is this
going to
some form of
respond. I'm going
pity?
to let him take the wheel.
So you're just going to let go of the wheel?
Yep.
So you let go of the wheel, and the ship lurches to the side as one of the wings just starts getting battered by the trees below you guys, and panic wins over anger. He's obviously still angry as his flame is still super high, but panic makes Pitt reach out and grasp the wheel. With a decent dexterity save. So he's able to catch it and somewhat level it off as you guys are still dragging through the treetops.
I'm going to look him in the eye. I'm going to say, good job. And I'm going to walk away.
He goes to go after you and realizes he can't let go of the wheel and just yells after you like, I can't believe you've done this. This isn't over. And
You'll
he
be
starts yelling
fine.
her song to come and grab the wheel from him as she. Actually, you know what? I'll have her roll for that.
I can't believe you've done this.
She not very convincingly goes and attempts to put out the fire on the wing over here.
Not very convincingly.
I mean, she does it, but she's not. She's pretending to have not heard Pitt, is what I meant.
Oh, okay. I thought she was pretending to put out fires, and I was like,
We've got a traitor.
All right, and then for putting out the fires, go ahead and just roll a flat d20 and add your dex. Or actually, better yet, put in Constitution.
Boom, 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 boom. I throw this die off into nothing.
18.
All right, so Finn, you are able to walk up and kind of steel yourself against the heat as you start stomping out the fires on the deck. It doesn't seem like, other than charring up the wood a little bit, it hasn't done much structural damage yet.
That's gonna need some sanding. Oh god, no, the floorboard!
Oops, misclicked there. So, Vol, you were saying that you were going to use Create Water, correct? Or you were using the bucket line?
I was going to be using the bucket line. It's a spell that I don't often No, actually, I would have had it. I don't often prepare that spell, but we were in downtime, so I would have used it. So.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to start pulling it up from upstairs, and Lake is going to, in his panic, start going over and putting out the wing as well.
I'm gonna continue up the side of the ship to where Pit is, trying to stomp out as many fires as I can.
As you get up there, you realize in his anger, he is still plinking down fires, and fire is catching everywhere up here. As he's shouting, he does not seem to be quite in the know of what he's doing up here either. He's
friend.
holding you guys level, but that's about it.
Hey friend, you're looking pretty hot there.
He looks at you and says, "Friend, you come and steal one of the few things important to me, and you still call me friend?"
Well, I mean, you didn't tell us that this was your ship, so we fixed it up. How are we supposed to know that it was yours as I'm trying to stomp out fire?
Say, well, I wouldn't have told you because humans, that's what they do. They take.
Well,
Why do you
friends
think
tell each other things.
He scoffs. He says, the only thing I've seen of humanity is people exploiting others and moving material from one place to another just so that they can take their hard-earned money.
Sounds like backstory.
Backstory.
Well, as you can see, I'm not really a human, my guy.
All you corporeal people are the same. You're all practically humans.
Are you not in a corporeal form?
He looks at you kind of questioningly, almost a little stupefied. He says, no, we are elementals. The fact that we even have our own free will is coincidence to begin with. I'd rather have this ship go down than let you guys have it.
That's a lie.
He's gonna kind of like stare you down now that you called his bluff.
I'm gonna continue putting out fires. Be like, hey, can we, like, I understand that you're angry at us, but let's not set the ship on fire anymore. I know it's a little hard for you being fire, but
during that conversation, Lake and Song were able to put out the wing. It does not seem to be doing anything anymore as all the canvas has been burned away, but at least it's not on fire anymore. Cliff has made his way upstairs. 1 second. And kind of like is looking at everyone questioningly with a really sad look on his face.
sorry, who is?
Cliff.
Seeing that the fire situation isn't going out with just being ignored, I will walk back up towards Pit.
All right. It seems like you guys have a crowd up here now. Between Finn and Vol, the fire's being kept at bay, but it seems like the heat up here is pretty much turning the water to steam soon after it wets the boards. Around this time, Lake looks at Looney and says, someone has to stop him. I don't want him hurt, but if he keeps going like this, he's going to burn the ship down.
I mean, I could stop him for a little bit, but he's gonna know that I stopped him, and it's only gonna make him more angry. I could try and talk him down, but I figured Song might have a better chance, or maybe even you.
No, when he's like this, I can't get near him. He's too hot. And when Song tries to talk him down, he gets distrustful.
That's interesting. I thought your group would have been fairly trustful of itself, if not less trustful of us. So, I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Please.
So I'm just gonna kind of like being down here still, yelling up to him, like, "Hey, Pitt!"
He brings you his attention in the middle of his tirade.
So the argument here, because let me get this straight, is about you wanted the ship to fly, and now you're flying it. Now, why are you still angry?
He's like, because one of the few things that we had, you guys took. And from what I've seen, the only way you humans realize to exchange goods is through taking it. So you know what? I'm taking the ship back.
Well, the thing is we haven't tried to kick you off since you've been here. We are perfectly fine with sharing the ship with you. We just found it and thought we could take it to the city as a faster route. If we had stayed together like we had wanted to, we would have known that from the start.
But we couldn't have trusted you. You see, you already tried to take the ship, and now you're taking it to the city, somewhere that we won't be welcome.
You didn't give us a chance to have you trust us.
Wait, do you not know things that happen in the cities?
How could we? We came from the elemental plane, and we want to enter into society, but when humans even see our face, they get scared and they attack us.
Did we attack you?
He kind of like gives a half glance at Till a little bit.
I mean, that's true of like caravans and or small towns, but the cities are much more welcoming of different folks. You'll have a much broader representation of people there.
Oh, like what? There's going to be no one like us there. Throughout
don't
this
know.
conversation, he has been de-steaming a little bit, and Vol and Finric, you guys are starting to get control of the flames up here.
But yeah, I'm gonna go back to this, like, well, so from tales that I've collected, I've heard of a myriad of many different people. I mean, there are magical creatures that live in cities. I've heard of dragons. There are great wizards who change their form to other incorporeal things. There are even people that or beings that come from other realms.
He says, but how would they accept us? I've seen nothing but anger. People would know about us there.
Well, yeah,
We didn't know about you.
You want them to know your name, because that way, when the good jobs come around, they know your name. They know who to pay.
The story of the red sleeves would have been something told to children around the areas, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Red Sleeve Brigade was very famous. Like, they're very popular, like, children's bedtime story. It's like Robin Hood.
Would other people like around like the world know that, or would it just be like isolated to the area?
I mean, the nation that you're going into, like all of the neighboring nations, like pretty much everyone on this continent would know.
I'm gonna look at Pitt and be like, everyone knows of the red sleeves.
He's gonna kind of like raise his eyebrow at you. He's like, the what?
We found red sleeve, like
They're a group of heroes that used to own the ship.
we saw red sleeve uniforms downstairs. We figured if this was your ship, that would have been you.
Pitt just kind of like scoffs a little bit and looks down at his own outfit. Actually, roll a intelligence check, or a insight or investigation, whichever you prefer. And I'm extending that to the whole party, mind you.
That's gonna be a 1, my guy, or not 1, but an +1 to my 3 so far.
A 21 for me.
$16.
All right, so Till, you're actually gonna be the only one who's gonna really notice that it looks like a lot of Pitt's outfit, Pitt and Cliff's both, were probably torn up from old red sleeve outfits.
Where'd you get your outfit, Pitt?
Well, we found them here. Or what it was.
Well, Pitt, that's an outfit of a hero. And if anyone can't see that and decides they want to attack you, they're going to have to go through me first. You're one of us now.
Sorry, destroying the ship again as I'm putting away fires. He's
no,
definitely
the ship.
de-simmering down as he is kind of like looking at you guys and says, you know what? Fine, we'll talk about this later, but...
If you want to argue for the sake of arguing, you can.
He kind of like huffs a bit and says, well, it's not worth getting rid of the ship for something like this, but it's still our ship, and I don't know if we can be in the city, but we can go there, I guess.
You don't have
I'll
to go
step up,
into the city. Oh,
I'll step up close to Pitt and I'll pat his back and I said, yep, it's our ship.
At that time around, Cliff just kind of like walks up and hugs Pitt. It seems like a cute moment as Cliff just looks really sad and says, you were gonna destroy the ship. This was our ship. And there's like a little heartfelt moment there.
All right, you two done? We need to fix the ship. Let's go.
So around this time too, you get the ship has gotten a lot rockier and a lot more. There's been a lot more shaking. You know, we've pretty much just been keeping level on your direction, going up above the mountains, and you guys start feeling a sense of buoyancy as the shaking mostly stops, and the tip of the nose or the tip of the ship starts angling downwards.
That doesn't seem good.
I need to add more power. The engine's failing. I need help down here. I start heading down below decks.
Vol's gonna follow, but probably gonna die.
Well, it'll be a good story.
I don't. Well, you
So
will.
I would know this having worked on it, but where is the main power source?
These canisters that are right in front of you that have the blue flames spewing out of the top definitely are where the power comes from. They come from that and then distribute out into the other parts of the machine. With this being here, 1 second. This one is not operating because of the damage it took previously. And you found that the rear one is also not operating, so you're only really running on 3 of your 8 wings at the moment.
Okay. And is this flame coming out of them a product of the power, or is the flame itself powering them?
It's a manifestation of the power. It's kind of like a blow-off valve.
Okay, gotcha. So it wouldn't be adding more flame, literally. So it's a magical source?
Yes. Generally, they run off of their own fuel source, which is, think of it similar to like a nuclear reactor. There's going to be a alchemically created crystal on the inside that it just burns up over time, but that fuel source can last you a very long time. And through your inspection, it seemed like it had plenty of fuel.
Okay, I know why the one isn't working, but why isn't the one in the back working? I want to go check that out.
All right, roll your proficiency. What was it? Yeah, proficiency level.
Every time I roll related to this, it's just not going to be above 10. Okay, that is a 13.
All right. So as you get over there, it seems like it is not getting the trickle of magic through the pipeline as it's supposed to be, which activates the crystal. So there seems to either be a choke in the system somewhere or something's broken.
Oh man, this sucks having to work on this while it's on. That's very dangerous. I'm gonna need some help from someone, and I'm gonna try to start finding the choke in the pipeline.
All right, roll same thing again.
Okay. Before I go to do so, I'm gonna call Looney down. If our bard wants to give us some inspiration, maybe.
Yeah, I make my way down, and I'll be like, "You, don't worry, you can do it."
Need some, just need a little bit of help here.
While they're talking,
All right.
Vol
And
wants
as
to
you're attempting that,
give it a
Looney,
moment.
as you walk down, you found that the ship is descending rapidly. You guys have crested over the top of the mountain range and are going to be pretty much on a straight trajectory down into the valley near the city that you guys were heading towards. But it seems like you're currently on a crash course.
I'm gonna roll to help.
Vol's gonna kick it.
I got a nat 20 to help.
All right, beautiful.
Can I be heard?
That's a 22 on my actual action.
No.
All right, and then roll the d6 for the inspiration on that.
3, so 25.
That's a very interestingly shaped d6 you got there.
Oh, that is a D4. Heh, get out of here. You're useless to me. Ha.
Ah, you
It's
rolled
gonna be
another
lower.
3 on it. Ah, oops.
That's a 24.
All right, so with that, you find the blockage as you open it up. There was a large buildup of whatever carbon-like substance these flames end up coating on the inside of these pipes. You change your multi-tool into like a scraping device, and you're trying to pry it off, and you're not able to get it loose. As Fenric reaches behind and then just scrapes it off by putting his hand over your hand, just adds his muscle in there. Vol ends up kicking the thing, which ends up kick-starting it into running again. And right around that time, you guys start leveling out. But you guys are still going way too fast, way too much of an angle downwards.
Vol's gonna.
Would
Look.
Song be able to help with her wind powers?
It seems like the elementals are kind of like in a bit of shock, not sure what to do.
gonna
Cliff
run
is
up.
uselessly pulling up on the banister, trying to pull the whole ship up, ripping off the banister in the process.
I'm gonna yell at Song, be like, "Can your wind do anything?"
She kind of like shakes out of her panic and says, I can try. And she goes up into the air and starts whipping up the wind around the ship. And it seems to add just a little bit more buoyancy onto you guys. You guys are somewhat leveling out, but you still are going at like a 22-degree angle downwards. You guys are going fast.
I'm gonna look at Till and be like, "How do you stop a ship?"
I'm gonna go get back on the wheel. Like,
All
hey,
right.
Pit, can I have this just for a second?
He looks at you wide-eyed. His flames are much dimmer than you've ever seen them, and he just kind of like lets go of the wheel.
I grab it very quickly.
All right, you're
Will
able
one
to.
of those levers possibly, lift us?
Maybe I'm gonna just roll and see what my knowledge gives me. Okay, that's an 18.
Yeah, you know that these are actually levers that are generally on newer ships. They are to like they're for like tilt, yaw, and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like this ship was originally designed to do any aerospace dynamics like that. So you could use them theoretically.
Fuck it. Just gonna pull it.
All right, so you pull the one that would generally raise the nose of the ship, and the ship does start to pull up and begins to stall out. Around this time, you kind of realize that you guys might be in a little bit of a lost cause here. You do not have enough room to start pulling out of this dive.
Vol's gonna just keep praying as hard as he can.
I'm
Can I go
gonna.
down? Sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna keep trying to do what I can with the wheel to get us to pull out of this, while also quietly telling Gary to give everyone around me a shield.
All right, so everyone gets that shield around them.
I'm gonna look at stuff down here and see if any of the flames are a little dim, and if they are, I'm going to try to do what Vol did and just kick it, but lightly.
All right.
Kick
So
it to
you're
the point
down
of not
there,
breaking it.
You're kicking various things and doesn't seem to be helping much. The elementals start grabbing onto things around them to help stabilize them. Everyone gets the shield sprung up around them as Gary runs around the ship to make sure everyone's covered. And as Vol's praying, you guys feel like this eerie, cold touch on the back of your necks as the ship hits the ground. Everyone blacks out. You kind of like remember sounds of splintering wood and an intense sense of pain as you all wake up in rooms by yourselves, wrapped in bandages. And with that, I'm going to end the session for this week.
Crazy. Oh my god.
You thought the DM would let you have an airship?
I was so excited.
So, with that save there, I'm not going to elaborate too much, but you can definitely thank Vol's good praying on that a little bit.
That's all I knew how to do.
Well, I'm going to extend a thank you to everyone who's watched today. That is the end of the prologue for the campaign, and we'll be getting on to the main story as they have finally entered Altera, the capital city of Thul'un.
Yay.
Yay. We made it.
Maybe a little worse for wear, but you've made it.
Did we do it?
6
Are you winning, son?
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put us out then.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and join us 2 weeks from now as we get into the main bulk of the story, and you'll see what happened to everyone during the airship crash.
And if you're not following us, we would greatly appreciate it so that we can become affiliates and then do cooler stuff.
Heck yeah. Alright, thanks everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.